Today you will listen to an informational text. It has details that will help you figure out the most important idea or point about the topic. The book is called Meet the Dogs of Bedlam Farm by John Katz. What questions do you have about the dogs and the farm? As we're reading, I want you to think about those questions because we're going to be answering some of them through the text. Also, I want you to be thinking about what is the central idea of this text.
Meet the Dogs of Bedlam Farm, John Katz. Introduction. Bedlam Farm is in upstate New York. It is the place where John Katz lives and was inspired to write many of his best-selling books about his life and his dogs. He is also a photographer and hospice volunteer. He has kept various animals there, but primarily Bedlam Farm is a place for writing. This is the story of the 4 dogs that live on Bedlam Farm. In the morning, after mist has cleared from the path, 4 dogs go out together for their first walk of the day. They circle and sniff the wet ground carefully, listening and seeing things that only dogs can sense. The dogs are called Rose, Izzy, Frida, and Lenore, and they all live on Bedlam Farm. They stay together, circling, never running off. They are a happy group. Their tails wag when they see one another, but it wasn't always this way. Rose, Izzy, and Frida are working dogs. They all have jobs to do. Rose herds sheep. Izzy visits sick people. Frida guards the farm when she's not causing trouble. Lenore lives on the farm too. What is her job? Meet the dogs and find out. Rose. Rose came to the farm when she was 6 months old. Every day she helps with farm chores. She goes out into the pasture and herds the sheep. Rose is a border collie. She is a serious dog, a smart dog, a hard-working dog. She did not always play or cuddle like Lenore does. Lenore is different from Rose. Lenore is carefree and fun-loving. She would rather eat than work. She would rather play than chase sheep. She taught Rose how to play hide and seek, wrestle, and chase a ball. Now Rose knows how to have fun too. Rose helps with farm work. Izzy and Frida are busy too. What is Lenore's job? Izzy. Izzy is also a border collie. His story is sad at first. He was abandoned and had lived outside for years. Most of the time, he ran back and forth along a fence. He ran there so much he created a deep trench. It took a long time and lots of love and patience before Izzy learned to be calm and feel safe. But he did. Now Izzy is a therapy dog who visits sick people in their homes, in hospitals, and in nursing homes. He helps people feel better. Lenore was Izzy's first friend. She chewed on his head, shared her bones, and slept next to him on the floor. She showed him how to live in a house and eat from a bowl. Now Lenore likes to sneak up on Izzy and steal his treats and play tug-of-war. Every day, Izzy goes off to his job, helping people feel better. Rose and Frida are busy too. But what is Lenore's job? Frida. Frida was a wild dog before coming to Bedlam Farm. She roamed the woods, eating berries and hunting for rabbits, squirrels, and chipmunks. She is very different from the other dogs on the farm. Frida is a bit scary. She is a big dog, part Rottweiler and part German Shepherd. When she barks, the ground shakes and animals run. From the minute she arrived at Bedlam Farm, Frida started working. She guards the farm. She barks at strangers. She scares off foxes that try to eat the chickens and coyotes that try to eat the sheep. Sometimes she guards the farm too much and even scares the cats. Every now and then, Frida becomes a wild dog again and runs off. Lenore goes out into the woods to find her and bring her back. When Frida is lonely, Lenore keeps her company and sleeps with her nose to nose. Lenore shows her how to be friends with the sheep and other dogs. Lenore shows Frida how to walk on the path in the woods and leave the squirrels and chipmunks alone. Even so, Frida is very busy guarding the farm. She works hard at her job. Rose and Izzy are busy too. But what is Lenore's job? Lenore is a black Labrador retriever. She looks for disgusting things to eat, mud to roll in, and people and animals to love. She came to the farm when she was just a puppy. Lenore is different. She doesn't guide the sheep like Rose does. She doesn't visit people who are sick like Izzy does. She doesn't guard the farm like Frida does. She licks the other dogs, touches noses, and wags her tail. Lenore makes dogs play and people smile. She makes sure everyone is happy. Thanks to Lenore, the dogs are a family. Every night, after they have finished their work and taken their last walk of the day, they gather in the warm, cozy farmhouse to eat, rest, and share the smells, sights, sounds, and dreams of their busy day with one another. Rose remembers images of sheep, and Izzy the people he helps to feel better, and Frida the many dangers she keeps away. Lenore does not have work to remember, but she does have a job. Lenore is not as quick as Rose, or as busy as Izzy, or as strong as Frida, but she is a working dog. Her job is loving and accepting and having patience. And that may be the greatest work of all.
I want you to think back to page 18, and I have that up here for you to look at. And I want you to think, why is Lenore a good friend? Why is she a good friend? Take a moment and think about what it said here when she was Izzy's first friend. So in the text it says that she chewed on his head, shared her bones, and slept next to him on the floor. She showed him how to live in a house and eat from a bowl. And now she likes to play tug of war with him. So she reached out and really tried to be a friend to Izzy, who didn't really know how to be a friend. Now I want you to think about how Lenore helps Frida. How does Lenore help Frida? Well, let me read some of the things from the text. Lenore goes out into the woods to find her and bring her back. So that's when Frida runs off and becomes a wild dog again. And when Frida is lonely, Lenore keeps her company and sleeps with her nose to nose. Lenore shows her how to be friends with the sheep and other dogs. Lastly, I want you to think about this. The end of the book says, and that may be the greatest work of all. So we're going to go back a page and find out, what does the author mean? What is the greatest work of all? So let's read this last page. Lenore is not as quick as Rose, or as busy as Izzy, or as strong as Frida, but she is a working dog. Her job is loving and accepting and having patience. And then the author says, and that might be the greatest work of all. So what work is the author talking about is the greatest work at all? Think about that for a minute. Yes, you're right. If you look back on page 30, it says, her job is loving and accepting and having patience. So the author is saying that the greatest work of all is loving and accepting and having patience.